Good evening. Welcome to the September 19th edition of the Downers Grove Village Council meeting. We're glad you're with us here tonight. If you're in council chambers or watching on TV, thank you for being here. As is our tradition, we'll begin our meeting tonight with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Rosa, would you please call the roll?
Mayor Barnett.
Here.
Commissioner Jose.
Here.
Commissioner Sadowski-Fugit.
Here.
Commissioner Gilmartin. Commissioner Glover.
Here.
Commissioner Tully.
Here.
Commissioner Davenport.
Here. Welcome, everybody. Good to see everybody tonight. Item 3 on our agenda, I have a couple of proclamations this evening. We'll start with Constitution Week. Whereas September 17th, 2023 marks the 236th anniversary of the framing of the Constitution of the United States of America by the 1787 Constitutional Convention. Whereas it is fitting and proper to accord official recognition to this magnificent document and its memorable anniversary, and to the patriotic celebrations which will commemorate the occasion. And whereas Public Law 915 guarantees the issuing of a proclamation each year by the President of the United States of America designating September 17th through 23rd as Constitution Week. Now therefore I, Robert T. Barnett, Mayor of the Village of Downers Grove, do hereby proclaim the week of September 17th through 23rd, 2023 to be Constitution Week in the Village of Downers Grove, and urge all citizens to reaffirm the ideals of the framers of the Constitution had in 1787 by vigilantly protecting the freedoms guaranteed to us through this guardian of our liberties. Dated this 19th day of September, 2023, Downers Grove, Illinois. I have another proclamation this evening, which concerns neighborliness. Whereas the noblest human concern is a concern for others, and that concern leads to the understanding, love, and respect that builds cohesive families and communities. Whereas acts of neighborliness are often simple gestures that help us be a good neighbor, lift up others, and make our community a place we love. Whereas these acts of kindness impact giver, receiver, and observer in often immeasurable positive ways. Whereas sense of community is strengthened and expressed in our neighborhoods where we give each other the opportunity to share and feel we are part of a larger family. Whereas kindness and neighborliness are traits understood and appreciated across races, genders, generations, and religions. Whereas on September 22, 1978, President Jimmy Carter signed Proclamation 4601, establishing September 24, 1978 as National Good Neighbor Day. Now therefore I, Robert T. Barnett, Mayor of the Village of Downers Grove, do hereby proclaim September 28, 2023 to be Good Neighbor Day in the Village of Downers Grove, and urge all our citizens to pledge to be the good neighbor with the goal of becoming a more connected and caring community, to be the person who lives with kindness and concern for their neighbors, to take the first step by connecting with neighbors and introducing yourself, to practice the good neighbor mindset, to make connections, offer invitations, stay aware and be available to neighbors, and to practice tolerance and listening in an effort to understand each other better. Indeed, good neighbors make great neighborhoods. Dated this 19th day of September, 2023, Downers Grove, Illinois. We'll move on to item 4 on our agenda tonight, minutes of previous council meetings. Is there such a motion?
Mayor, I move that the council adopt the September 12th, 2023 minutes as presented.
Second.
Any comments or questions from the council? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It passes unanimously. Item 5 on our agenda, public comments portion of our meeting. This is the portion of the meeting where we take public comments on items not on tonight's agenda. So if you've got something on your mind that we're not going to discuss later, please come on down to the podium and let us know.
Good evening, Hillary Deng, 433 Wilson Street, Downers Grove. I'm here to bring up 2 announcements from the League of Women Voters of Downers Grove, Woodridge, and Lisle. Today is National Voter Registration Day, and I just wanted to let you know that your League of Women Voters, your local AUW, and the Lisle Women's Club were in local high schools throughout this community registering voters. And we will continue to do that for the next couple of weeks because some places couldn't do it today. So I just wanted to let you know and give a special thank you to member Sandy Mueller, who organized that, and she's on our current local board. I'm also inviting the public and all of you to an event that we're hosting next week, Thursday, the 28th, Good Neighbor Day, as a matter of fact. And we'll be talking about the upcoming Supreme Court decisions. Ed Yanka from the Illinois ACLU will be sharing information, and then we'll also be having some friends from Braver Angels come and help have a discussion so we can bring people together over these important issues. This is part of a series called Bridging the Divide that our local league will be hosting over the next year. So I invite you and all the public to these events. The Bridging Divide event will be at Lincoln Center at 7 p.m. on Thursday, the 28th of September. And we hope you can join us. Thank you.
Thank you. Others?
Good evening. My name is Caroline Mangan. I live at 4936 Linscott Avenue on Prince Pond. I'm here representing the good neighbors of Prince Pond. We are going to feed right off of that because we've bonded incredibly over the summer, starting last January, with the excessive goose population we've had in our area. It extends beyond the pond itself. I know that the pond is considered a park district problem, but I do think it extends into a city issue too. We have a petition signed by 61 individuals who were affected. Every home on the pond is represented with the exception of 2 who are out of state, although one did email me this morning to offer some advice. In addition, we have many community members who signed the petition who have also been affected. Last year we had an exceptionally large migratory population of the geese, as many of the communities have. But then this large migratory population was started in January, then went on to birth 30 goslings. So we had a lot of poop on the sidewalks, on the streets, on our parkways. Each goose alone poops 1 to 2 pounds of fecal matter a day. So you can imagine what the mess was. I don't know if any of you frequent Prince Pond, but it was not a fun sight. And most people were trying to avoid it. I personally have 2 dogs, and I had to try to walk in another area, but even then going down onto Warren, extending both ways, east and west on Warren, the goose poop was everywhere. In addition to the normal migratory nature of the birds, I learned that someone this spring found 2 motherless geese from another area and brought them to our pond to join the fun. I think in addition to an ordinance to not feed the animals, there has to be some rule against this. We are not a goose shelter, and I don't think our community needs any more. The Park District did put a laser in the center of the pond many years ago at the urging of one of my neighbors. And when it is put down in May, it does eventually provide some help 8 weeks later when the goose are no longer molting and can now fly, and the babies are grown and can fly away. The problem, as I said, lasted from January to late June of this year. And unfortunately, geese do imprint to where they're born and return everywhere to start the process again. So we're looking forward to it again starting in January. I came to you tonight because I was in contact with the Park District many times starting in January, and they were very responsive and very kind, but the suggestions they offered, including a fake goose or a fake dog on your lawn, didn't help. They were putting fake coyotes around the park that didn't help. They have signs up, do not feed the geese. I know there's an ordinance not to feed the geese, but the sign that's there does not indicate what the fine would be if they're found feeding the geese. But again, nothing helped. They didn't go away. I last emailed the Park District in June, asking them what could be the next steps going forward so this didn't happen next year, and they didn't reply. However, someone called me tonight and gave me the name of the executive director for the Park District and suggested I get a hold of him. So I'm here to ask you if there's anything you can do to help, since this does extend beyond the pond. It is affecting our sidewalks and our parkways across from the pond, not on the actual Park District land. I'm hoping we can get some help. I have done some research, and the maker of the gander disbander, which we have in the middle of the pond, doesn't have anything else to offer, but I found a competitor that can put in on either side. Actually, let me back up. They did a free site assessment using Google Earth, and they identified that using 2 of their industrial units at either end of the pond with a total cost of around $800 should be able to cover it. And so I'm hoping that somehow I can get this covered so we can do this. I myself have spent over probably $400 to just keep my tiny little yard free of goose poop, including buying decoys, spray to put on my yard that just makes the grass taste bad so they don't come back. That wasn't effective. I had an ultrasound motion-activated ultrasound deterrent that didn't work, but it certainly affected the dogs, so I took that down. Temporary fencing, I recently just took out all of my parkway grass because it's just disgusting, and put mulch down and then put a temporary fence up, and exploring other options which are very cost prohibitive. You can't have guests over without walking through the goose poop to get into your house. The dogs are bringing into the house, carries disease. This is just a big issue that I think the city needs to pay attention to in conjunction with the Park District. I have, because I'm time limited, I do have packets I made for all of you, including the petition and some additional information, including the new industrial equipment I'm hoping we can put on the pond to take care of this. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. If you've got something, if you could give it to the guy at the end of the table there, he'll make sure we all get it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Subjects not on tonight's agenda? Okay, we'll continue. Is there a motion for the consent agenda?
Mayor, I move that the council adopt the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 2 passes unanimously. We have a intentionally light agenda tonight because we're trying to manage various things, including workload and people's attendance, and things shift around a little bit. So apologies for what will probably seem like not a lot going on this evening. Dave, anything for you?
Yes. Excuse me, Mayor. We do have an update on our Civic Center project, and Mr. Baker will provide that update for us.
Thank you, Dave. Yes, we are thrilled with the continued progress of the Civic Center project. Some of the recent construction activity includes continued installation of the mechanical, electrical, plumbing systems on the interior of the building. The main roof installation has been completed, and as many people can see, the masonry work began a few weeks ago on the east side of the building, and it's making its way around to the north. In the coming weeks, the windows will be delivered on site and installed. The air handling systems will also arrive, and the first elevator is expected to be delivered as well. We also expect work to begin on in the Washington Crossing area. This will facilitate a lot of the pedestrian improvements that were part of the project that will necessitate some closure to the crossing. Of course, we'll notify the community in advance of that occurring, as well as partner organizations prior to that closure. The project continues to remain on schedule and under budget. And here is a video that captures some of the recent progress.
It's looking great. I especially like the grout.
That is our report tonight, Mayor.
It's actually mortar.
Well, there's a story behind that, Mike.
Sorry, couldn't help myself.
Yeah, inside joke. Mayor's report. I do not have a report this evening. Council member reports. This is an opportunity for council members to report out on goings-on in the community or other organizations they're connected to and things they think we should hear about. So we'll start with Mr. Grout or Mortar.
Got it. Thank you. Yeah, just wanted to share that this year, District 99, our high school district, is 100 years old. And so the district is on October 1st having an open house at Downers South from noon to 3, and on the 21st of October from 9 to noon at Downers North. So it's a great opportunity to show up and get a little tour of the buildings and maybe meet with some local school board officials and administrators too, if you're so inclined. So 100 years, pretty amazing, and our schools are pretty amazing as well. So get out there and learn a little bit more about them.
Awesome. Thank you, Mike. Danny.
No report. Thank you, Mayor.
Leslie.
Yep.
just a reminder that the Downers Grove Public Library Foundation is hosting an event on Tuesday, October 3rd, so you will have to miss this meeting. I'm so sorry. It's at the same time from 7 to 10 p.m. at Skeleton Key Brewery, so you can learn more at dgplfoundation.org. And also as somebody who currently works in healthcare industry, I would be remiss if I did not ask everyone to please go get your flu and COVID boosters for the season. It's looking like this flu shot appears to be a good match for the strains that are out there, so hopefully we can all stay safe and healthy this winter. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Martin?
Thank you, Mayor. Well, obviously the temperatures are starting to drop and people are putting on sweaters and looking forward to fall and that terrible thing that comes afterwards called winter. But fret not, because there are only about 275 days left until Rotary Grove Fest, when we can all remember what it was like to be outside enjoying the great weather. That's all I had, Mayor.
Thank you, Martin. Craig?
No report, Mayor. Thank you.
Just like that, we are through our agenda for tonight. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Mayor, I move to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you all and good night.
This was